Today, something about just life. SubhanAllah, Allah says, "Am hasiba alladhina fi qulubihim maradun allan yukhrij Allahu adghanahum." Or is it the case that the people who have some disease in their heart, have they assumed that Allah will not bring out their hatred and their spite and their resentment? The word adghan comes from daghan or dighan in Arabic, which linguists would argue means al-haqad wal-baghda wal-adawa, which resentment, ill feeling, a spite towards somebody. And Allah is saying in this ayah that people that have these kinds of sentiments, they tend to hide them. Like somebody meets you with a smile and they say salam to you and they give you a hug and they ask how you're doing, but yet they're harboring inside them these ill feelings towards you. They have this grudge against you. They're holding something you said for a long time and they don't tell you that. And you'll never get an idea. You won't have a clue that they're holding this against you, right? And as a matter of fact, it comes out in other people's gatherings. And when they're among their other friends or whatever, they'll talk about you and they'll say things about you. But when they meet you, it's all good. It's just, they're just going to pretend everything is just fine. And Allah calls them out on this. And first of all, He describes this as a disease of their hearts. It's a spiritual disease. It's not just, you would think the disease of the heart is when somebody doesn't remember Allah, or when someone is heedless, or they become greedy, or they become materialistic, and they're not spiritual enough. And yet in this ayah, actually part of the meaning of people who have a disease in their heart is actually people who have resentment towards others in their heart. People who are harboring ill feeling towards others in their heart. SubhanAllah. That's a spiritual disease. And then, not only is that a disease, do they really think they're going to be able to hide it? Allah will be the one. Allan yukhrij Allahu adghanahum. Allah will bring out all forms of their resentments in one way or the other. Though it doesn't matter how much they try to hide it and how much they try to, conceal it because of some agenda or some advantage they want to take, or they don't think it's it's going to be best for them to let people know how they truly feel. And yet Allah will actually bring it out. You don't have to bring it out and somebody else doesn't have to expose it. It will be Allah Himself who will present the opportunity. He'll create the circumstance where their grudge and their resentment and their spite is going to make its way to the surface. You're going to see it for what it is. SubhanAllah. Allah will create those situations. Now, this is not just about some people, like as you're watching this, you're like, I can think of someone who's holding these grudges and Allah will bring it out one day. Well, Allah hasn't brought it out, which means you shouldn't be making assumptions, But this is about you and me ourselves. Something I learned in life that actually was inspired by this ayah, a policy. Sometimes you have friends and they say things and it hurts your feelings and you don't say anything back. You just kind of hold it in and it doesn't let you go. A long time goes by and you still hold on to what they said, and it does put a crack in your relationship with that friend or with that whoever, that relative, but you don't bring it up to them. I have a policy that I'd even like to recommend when it comes to this stuff. You shouldn't hold back. You should actually be loving and transparent and honest in the relationships that you have in life. If somebody did say something that hurt your feelings and you've been harboring it for a long time, don't let it turn into a disease inside your heart. Just let them know, look, you said this, it really hurt my feelings. I've been holding it, but I don't know if I should hold it anymore. I really wanted to let you know. And I actually did that more recently. I did that with some friends and some associates, that they did say something or do something that hurt my feelings personally. And I held it for years. And then they eventually came back and said, you don't call me as often as you used to. And before I would have said something like, I'm busy, this, that. But actually I decided, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I don't call you because of this one thing that really hurt me. And I just felt like I shouldn't call you as much. You want to talk about it? Yeah, let's talk about it. And we'd have a 30, 40-minute chat and things would get resolved. And actually our relationship would become better than it ever had been before. Just because you came clean. Just because you didn't let it inside. That's not patience. That's not you being righteous. It's just you allowing for some sickness in your heart to get bigger and bigger and bigger. We're not angels. We don't forget this stuff. We have to resolve it. It's okay. It's okay when people resolve things with each other. And we have to find healthy ways of doing that. May Allah make us courageous enough to have openness in our relationships, in our communication, without being offensive. And may Allah Azza wa Jal keep us from those who harbor these kinds of ill feelings until Allah Himself brings them out. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.